Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Was handed this letter by a lady that I was at one of the many events I attend in my district. It's how I stay in touch with what's going on. This lady says, U.S. Congressman Louie Gohmert, I'm a 52-year-old widow. ObamaCare is a major financial problem for me. Someone needs to fix the health care system. 1/3 of the money I get from my deceased husband's retirement fund is given to health care. My deductible alone is $7,000. She has an exclamation point. I'm angry with the government deciding how I should spend what little money I have. I had to get a part-time job just to put gas in my car. So I clean tables and I mop floors. I'm physically unable to work full-time. I'm frustrated with the fact I had to move back in with my parents just to make ends meet. Would you like that? Fulfilling? Could or would you do something to relieve this burden? It's from a 52-year-old widow in my district. That's what we've done with the burden Obamacare. We here in Congress decided, you know what, we're going to tell people like this widow how she has to spend what little money she has left. We're going to force this woman to go clean tables and mop floors when she's physically unable to work full time, because we here in Washington have decided we know better than she does, so we have every right in Congress to force people like this dear widow to get on her hands and knees and work for the United States Congress. Pay your taxes, and now that's not enough. We're going to tell you that you are being forced to spend your money on health care that'll never help you a dime because you have $7,000 deductible. Or how about hearing last week, 2 weeks ago, from a friend who was one of those who was cut because of financial troubles. They had 100 employees. They can't afford the Obamacare, so they've cut their 100 to 70, and they're continuing to work to get down to 49. Why? Because of Obamacare. So we've already had 30 breadwinners, men and women, lose their jobs because of one thing, Obamacare. And now there's going to be 21 more lose their jobs because of one thing, Obamacare. They got to get under 50 so they don't have to keep paying such ridiculous prices for health insurance that has such high deductible nobody will ever benefit. Who is benefiting? Well, it can't be all the health insurance companies because they've dropped out. They can't make money. So it has to be the government that's making all the money from this Obamacare program. The single mom that told me she had been working at McDonald's making ends meet, but because of Obamacare, they cut her hours back. Now she has to work at both McDonald's and Burger King. And she was in tears because it's just too much. And why is she having to do it? Because people right here in this House and the other body, without one Republican vote in this body, told America, too bad, you're not working enough at McDonald's. We want to make your life miserable. We're going to make you work at 2 places part-time, just like this widow that we condemned to start scrubbing tables and floors because the Democrats in this body, without a single Republican vote, decided, we know better what you need to do with your time and your money than you do. So it's a problem of arrogance when Washington thinks it knows so much better than people across the country. And yes, I know I represent the 26% that didn't vote for me. I understand that. And I've heard from them. And I don't need a town hall to know they're for keeping this albatross of a health care system, the ACA. It's not affordable, though. It's ridiculous to call it affordable care. And one of the problems is when you have to take precious health care dollars that used to go to providing care in a hospital, in a clinic for a patient, now it goes to government navigators. Why? Because there were union officials that decided we've lost too many union members. The unions that are growing are the government unions, the ones that Franklin Roosevelt said you should never have a union composed of government workers. You know, think about it. You're working for the people of the United States of America. Why would you need a union to organize against the people? Sounds un-American. But those are the ones that are growing, and union leaders, without concern for their members, decided let's embrace as many aliens as we can get into the country, legally or otherwise, because they'll join the union and that will grow our ranks, and we as union leaders will be better off. But our members' wages will continue to go down. Our union members will continue to lose jobs. But, gee, we may have more people in our union. We know that there were supposed to be thousands of new IRS agents hired so that they could help enforce Obamacare. It's a travesty. Bill that's been filed is not going to do it. But hopefully, our Republican leadership will be willing to work things out and not prevent good amendments that will make it palatable so enough of us can vote for it. And I've gotten to know President Trump a bit. And I feel like he wants the best deal he can get for America. And if this bill were the best he could get, he'd probably have to live with that. But we can do a whole lot better. And some of us are determined we're not going to vote for one that doesn't. In the meantime, so much talk by President Obama and all his minions that are still out there trying to undermine the Trump administration. We have a crisis here in Congress that people are not talking about. I keep bringing it up. Doesn't seem to be a lot of folks that want to talk about it. There was a time when we had mainstream media that actually did research, asked questions, dug to the bottom of things. But there are IT, information technology, mainly work with computers, employees, shared employees for several Democrats that are under investigation. Imran Awan was the company owner, Abid Awan, Jamal Awan, and Hina Alvi, the wife of Imran Awan, and Natalia Silva, wife of Abid Awan. Each made $160,000 a year as IT shared employees working on computers for various Democrats in the House of Representatives. The Awan brothers are of Pakistani descent, but their immigration status is unclear. It's also, well, there's a lot of things that are unknown about the Awan brothers. But they worked for our former DNC chair, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. That's Imran Awan. And these people are under investigation for stealing material, potentially accessing material they shouldn't have, for taking material off of Capitol Hill and stealing it, using it in other places. And we're told, oh, not to worry, they didn't access classified intelligence information in the SCIF. But other IT people tell me once someone is in the congressional system, the calendar, email for one member of Congress, if they're good, it's not that hard to break into lots of other members of Congress's email and calendars. And what country that hates America, some that like America, wouldn't love to know who people are meeting, especially on Intelligence Committee, like some of the people that have employed these. Some of them very fine members of things like Ethics Committee, Judiciary, Foreign Affairs, Intel Committee. See, Andre Carson. They're just lots of Sandy Levin, Jackie Spear, a lot of people, good people, Tim Ryan, a lot of folks. They employed these folks. They're very trusting, kind people. And these people didn't have a background check, and now they're under investigation. And I heard, some have been told, that Imran Awan, the lead guy, went back to Pakistan. Well, if this guy set up and was working on computer systems, is it possible he could have, and this is what a normal mainstream reporter 30, 40 years ago, back in the 70s, would have asked, well, did he set up the DNC computer system that got hacked, that was supposedly hacked by Russians or others? Did he set that up so it could be hacked? I mean, there's a lot here going on that we don't know the answers to, and we deserve to know the answers. There were mortgage transfers, debt evading bankruptcy. There was, well, let's see, Imran Awan, Jamal Awan were known to be the ringleaders of the group. Been providing services since 2005. Has convictions for driving offenses, which were serious enough to become criminal misdemeanors. Used illegal radar detector, drove an unregistered vehicle. Some say after masterminding the family's finances, was running business completely by 2010 and instructed a bid not to even speak to anyone. The wives of Imran and Abid also began receiving paychecks from the House of Representatives. They purchased 2 homes in Lorton in 2008, one of which was associated with all 3 brothers at one time. Albie sold that home in 2016 to the younger brother Jamal for $620,000. Imran owned a home put in his father's name in 2008 in Springfield, later claimed bankruptcy that the house was his. Jamal Awan was placed on the house payroll at age 20, making $160,000. Imran is also a real estate agent. Despite making $160,000 in congressional salaries, debts went unpaid by the Awan brothers, including debts to the Congressional Federal Credit Union. $100,000 was taken from a known Hezbollah-connected fugitive from the FBI, and they're associated with this Hezbollah-connected agent, and there's no press out there getting to the bottom of it. What happened to the Washington press, the proud press of Washington of the 1970s? Well, they're in the bag for one party. They're not interested in getting to the bottom of the news. They're all about advocating. God not just bless America, God help America. We got to have people wake up before we do much more damage to ourselves. It's time to turn this country around. And one of the things we should start with is getting to the bottom of this investigation, find out how much damage these alleged criminals did from Pakistan to our Congress, and also start undoing the damage Obamacare has done so people can get jobs again they've lost, so people can have health care that has deductibles they can afford. Mr. Speaker, it's time to make America great again. I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. Does the gentleman have a motion?
I'd move we do now hereby adjourn.
The question is on the motion to adjourn. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted.